Well, guys, let's take a couple minutes to talk about the Silver Surfer and this most recent rumor about Anya Taylor Joy taking up the role as that Herald of Galactus. I find the whole thing pretty out there and one of those situations where the media doesn't understand the comics, and I think it's mostly misreporting. Let's dive in. Now, before we do that though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the superhero news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are really in the know. Well, guys, at this point, I feel like this is one of those rumors that has spun completely out of control. Everywhere you turn right now on social media, the headline story is the potential for Anya Taylor Joy to be joining the Fantastic Four, and everybody seems to think she's going to be the Silver Surfer. Now, first and foremost, we need to emphasize this is a rumor, and it hasn't been confirmed by anybody officially anywhere, and with so many contradictory reports, honestly, I don't think it's true, at least the Silver Surfer part, and we'll get to that in a second, but there's a really good reason, and it's not because Marvel won't gender swap a character. Now, the long-running rumor has been that Galactus will be the main villain of the upcoming Fantastic Four MCU introduction, and you can't have Galactus without some heralds. Galactus typically has more than one herald, and we've heard multiple rumors that Terrax could be that herald. We've also heard several indications that it could be Silver Surfer, which seems a little premature for that, or even Nova. And when we say Nova, we mean the Frankie Ray version of Nova, not the Nova Corps. This is one of those areas Marvel Comics can be a little bit confusing. Now, I know the Silver Surfer is huge to Marvel Studios, and he's one of Marvel's most popular characters of all time. Marvel is going to work really hard to get the Surfer right, and that's one of the reasons I don't think she's being cast for that role. Regardless of how you feel about gender swapping, and Marvel will do that, it does inject a different conversation and controversy around the character. And if you notice how all the casting rumors are, well, pretty close to their comic counterparts, I do not think they will be making that level of a change to the Silver Surfer. Now, beyond that, there's a couple really good narrative reasons I don't think this is true. Now, in the comics, Frankie Ray gained her Human Torch-like powers courtesy of scientist Phineas T. Horton. Now, she eventually fell in love with Johnny Storm, and in a bid to save the Earth, she volunteers to become a new Herald of Galactus. Now, I think this is one of the key things you need to take away from this story, is Frankie Ray's history and the actual tragedy of becoming a Herald. I firmly believe if, and it's a big if, the Fantastic Four is facing off with Galactus, well, he's not really a defeatable villain. He's often steered away, deterred, or somehow sort of forced to compromise. Never really truly defeated, and quite often his heralds have a tragic story built around, well, that alteration of path. I actually think Frankie Ray, who becomes Nova after she's imbued with cosmic power, will be that part of the story. We'll see the Fantastic Four face off against Galactus. We'll see her make the sacrifice to become a new herald, with Johnny taking it right, with Johnny getting emotionally crushed in the process. But then, later on, when it is time for the Silver Surfer, well, Norrin Radd's story then becomes instantly sympathetic. When you realize heralds are basically enslaved by Galactus, even though they volunteered, it makes turning what should be a villain, which is really the role of any of those heralds, into a hero, well, a very interesting story. So I don't think she's going to be the Silver Surfer, but I think the character she will play, if she does indeed play Frankie Ray, will be critical for setting up the Silver Surfer. Also consider the possibility that the Fantastic Four have a laundry list of other characters that Joy could be taking up. This includes other villains, or even love interests to other characters. First one that comes to mind for me is Alicia Masters, although I don't know if that role would be big enough for her in the MCU, considering she played Magic before. Quite honestly, I wish she would just stick with Magic. She was great in that role, and those characters kind of worked in that movie despite the movie having issues. Now, as of right now, we have no confirmation on the rumor, and it's way up in the air. Guys, be really careful. We haven't got any official confirmation for any casting for this film yet. We're still hearing Pedro Pascal will be Reed Richards, but we've heard about 10 other actors so far, so we're just going to continue to watch the story carefully, and hopefully we get something official from Marvel very, very soon. Until we know more, we're going to have to wait and see.